as a single mother, I can tell you that there are certain beliefs you need to have. And most of these beliefs, I have shared some of them in some of my previous videos. But I figure that having this belief is a way of reprogramming your subconscious mind. Just like the way I taught in one of the training I'm preparing that I'll be bringing to your screen very soon. That is reprogram your life. How you can actually rebuild and reprogram your life. There is something called the subconscious mind. If you don't program it in a manner that it will help you see good in things, you'll be stuck where you are. And these things are the beliefs we feed our mind, from the subconscious mind down to our conscious mind. So, as a single mother, there are certain beliefs we need to carry. Though we understand that the society can be challenging, society can be disturbing when it comes to we having a space or having a spot that will actually exhibit the kind of person we are. But we need to understand that these beliefs are just like the norms and standards. We need to be able to put our mind to so that we can always see the good things out of our situation. And eventually, we can create a pattern to our lifestyle. Not because of what somebody else is planning for us, but because of what we are actually seeing ourselves to be. And one of the beliefs I actually gave myself when I started my journey, even before I set foot out of my previous relationship, is that I am worthy and also deserve a life. Though then I was being fed with a lot of notions that being a single mother or I want to live a marriage, I'm not going to be making the good out of myself. I'm going to be facing a lot of challenges and the likes of them. But I figure that if I don't tell myself with conviction that I'm worthy to and I also deserve a life, not just an ordinary life that somebody else's wants for me, but the one I actually want for myself. Not because I'm trying to live above the standards of somebody, and not even because I'm trying to lessen my own standard just to be able to fit into somebody else's world, but because I am me and I deserve a life too. So it shows I am worthy. So as a single mother, you need to understand that no matter what people ask to say, no matter anybody is coming to tell you, you need to believe in yourself that you are worthy and you also deserve a life. And the next belief I actually gave myself going through my journey is that I can create my future. I mentioned in the previous video I shared, which is the lesson I learned the hard way. I figured that when it comes to living the life journey, we are our greatest asset and our greatest liability. If you make yourself a liability, you're going to be having so many sorry stories and you will be stuck. But if you make yourself an asset, in fact, you're going to be giving yourself return more than whatever you have invested because it is going to be having a compound interest at the end of the day. Because you believe you're an asset, you should believe you are able, you're going to create your own future. Nobody is waiting on anybody anymore. Even if you come to YouTube and consume content like this, that helps you plan your future, that helps you rearrange the way your life should be. But if you're not taking full charge and control, if you're not putting in the action, if you're not maintaining that rolling wheel, that is the ebook I wrote. After you might have actually understood that this is where you're going, but there's still going to be time where you're going to be facing challenges and you're going to be questioned by your own decisions. That is where the rolling wheel comes in. You need to understand that there is universal law. There is the power of now and then. There is the power of acting and being. There is the power of consistency and there is also the power of time. So you're going to be understanding that all these things are connected together in a sequential manner to help you create that your future, and you have to be able to take charge of your life. Where you're coming from, you don't want to maintain that life again. And where you are going is where you actually want to be. So you are the one standing on top of it to erase the old thing and to also plan to rewrite another thing. And the third belief I actually understood that I gave myself when it comes to being a single mother is that my life, my rules, my standards. This is my life now. This is not what is being influenced by somebody. This is not what somebody is telling me to become. Now, this is my life. And because this is my life, I am not living it based on other people's notions. I am living it based on my rules, based on my standard. I want to be a Muslimah, a role model for my children, an example to the people out there that they can also have the life they desire. So this is my life now. I've been under the influence of somebody before. Something has happened to me before. This is my life now. My rules, my standard. If I'm going to be having any other relationship, it is going to be based on my rules. If I'm going to be allowing any other man to make an impact in my children's life, it is going to be on my standard. If I'm going to be allowing any man to take part because I'm also trying to be better, it has to be on my rules and my standard because this is my life. Because when the old thing turned sour, I am the one witnessing everything. And when the old thing turned out to be good, I will also be the one experiencing it. So it is my life, my rule, my standard. And if you're not matching up to that standard, I am willing to let you go without a second thought because I have been there and I know what it feels like. My life, my rules, my standards. And the next thing I have actually learned, that is one of the beliefs I have given myself over the years, is that life is a journey. Everything is a journey. The journey itself is a goal because as you're progressing through each phase of life, you realize that if you're conscious enough and you're self aware, you're going to be picking notions from all these instances, and you realize that everything that is happening to you is a journey, and that journey itself is a goal because eventually you're going to be arriving somewhere. But the question is, where? This all of this journey, where is it taking you to? Where exactly are you going? And that is that big picture I gave myself when I started creating an ideal picture of my life. The life is a journey. That journey itself is a goal. But where do I want to arrive? That is why you need to have a purposeful, intentional living. And also, everything is time bound. I've given myself that belief. If I set a goal for 2025 and it doesn't happen in 2025, I will set it for 2026 again. If it doesn't happen in 2026, I will set it for 2027 again. Because maybe 2025 is not the best year for it to happen. Maybe 2026 is not the best year for it to happen. Maybe 2030 is even the best year for it to happen. We might be thinking it is coming in late. We might be thinking it is coming in too far away. We might be thinking every part of our body and being is attached to that thing. But one thing I've chosen to believe is that everything will not happen except it is the time it is bound to happen. And that is why everything is time bound. When I was in hardship, it's difficult to persevere sometimes, but eventually I will get to realize that after hardship, through hardship, comes pain. The hardship might last for 2 months, and the ease might actually last for 2 days, and the hardship happens again. That is it. That is where the universe wants us to be. That is what we have been destined to witness. That is the kind of life we have been destined to have. But one thing is that good things will happen exactly when it is time for it to happen, and bad things will also happen exactly when it's time for it to happen. No matter how much you push, no matter how much you try, no matter how much you strategize and plan, when it is not the time, it will not happen. And the next thing, your action and decisions has to match. That is one belief I've given to myself. Sometimes it's difficult to always stand on something. I'm having a decision, but the action you are portraying doesn't match. That is the act of being and doing. You want to become this type of person. Are you actually doing what this type of person will be doing? I know it takes a lot of failure to stand on your decision. It takes a lot of mistakes to stand on your decisions. But you should know that that action, it has to be matching so that you can have a clearer picture of exactly what it looks like to actually decide that thing. Your actions and decisions has to match. Else, there is nothing you're going to be seeing as that picture. And also, one of the beliefs I've learned is that your beliefs will be questioned, especially being a single mother. People will question you. Your emotions will question you. Your mentals will question you. Your mindset will question you. Your beliefs will question you. Your children will question you. Your family will question you. Even if you're finding a new love, it will question you. But you need to understand that your belief mechanism should be the rolling factor that will be answering the whole of this. Not because you are being sabotaged or influenced by somebody's action, but because you have a strong belief system with conviction that you are treading on the right path. You left for a reason. Don't go back because of challenges. Your beliefs will be questioned by every single aspect of your life. And that is why you need to build a strong belief that is saddled with a very strong mindset. Either way, you are going to be judged. You live, you stay, you have a career, you don't, you're trying to get another partner, you have an empire, you're trying to build a business, everything. Either way, you will be judged. People will talk. That is why they are there. People will always find something to say. Even those that know you are treading on the right path, when they see you are achieving success that they do, they will question you, they will judge you. Those that you have left behind, when they see they can't meet you, they can't match up to that energy, you will be judged. You worry too much. You're just too strong for a man to come in. You have a lot of emotional inadequacies. You have some mental insecurities. You have this. You have that. As long as you're walking through the path of growth and consistency in healing, you see all those things they are saying, they are just noises. All you have to do is put them by the side and focus on yourself. And because you keep focusing more on yourself, they see you to be better than yesterday. They are going to judge you because you are growing far better than them. And also, focus on positive lifestyle most. Positive lifestyle that has to do with you living a better life, not from where you're coming from or where you're going. It has to be better than where you're coming from. Even if you're coming from an empire, you need to be looking for more of it. Because as a single mother, you deserve a life that can actually be structured by design, not just by accident, but by consistency in action and willingness to do and dare more. You deserve a life too. Because you have actually said no to things that the general mass will say yes to. You have said no to the things that is not promising to you. You have said no to those things that is not giving you happiness. Don't you think you deserve a better lifestyle? Because you've stepped up to do the needful than what other women are willing to do. You have decided to be a woman of your own, other than what others are doing. Some women are living in sabotage and blindfold, even when they are fully aware of their situation. But they are not willing to step up like you do. And you feel you don't deserve a happy life. You deserve a positive lifestyle. And always live to that positive lifestyle. As a single mother, you can be more and do more. And coming from a single mother of two myself, I have been through the hard times. I've also been through the good times. And I can tell that no matter where you're coming from, you can always change your story and rewrite your story. Until I see you in my next one. Bye.